Welcome back, we're right here where we left off with Sound of Drop. With the Naruto flashback. For the two of you, just this once. Upon saying that, Mom handed us each 100 yen coins. That day was a cold winter day. At the Manton Aquarium souvenir area, the smell of construction lingered faintly in the air. There were manta and penguin stuffed animals, stationery with the logo on it, and various souvenirs. At the entrance to that souvenir stand, there were the Getcha machines containing that keychain. I don't remember all of the various types, but Star Sand was packed in plastic drops, and the charms were all modeled after fish at the aquarium. It was fairly typical for a Getcha, but at that time, it seemed very interesting to me. Is it Getcha or Gacha? It was the same for Marie, and we gazed into the Getcha machine. Marie was the one who would usually beg our parents at this point, but neither of us had bought the souvenir, and both of us said we wanted the keychains. Since Mom couldn't be completely broken, she emphasized the on one time only bit. Yay! Marie held out both hands with glee, while I probably just smiled. I remember that inside I was just as happy. It's just a keychain. As the which of us went first, it was of course the more assertive Marie. She was always like this, a cheerful and inquisitive child. How cute, Mr. Star. Marie got a starfish charm keychain. At this point, Marie still didn't know the difference between a starfish and a star. Well, okay. I was next to get one. It was a pink drop with a jellyfish charm. Ah, a jellyfish. Oh no! Ah, that's the one I wanted most! Marie pointed the index finger of her tiny hand, exclaiming in a loud voice. Marie was just learning how to use first person when she mentioned herself. Instead of a normal I or me, she said it slowly. Hey, big sister, trade me... No way, I want this one. Naturally, as I had already fallen in love with that design, I obstinately turned her down. Upon begging my mother for one more time, my mother, who had warned us earlier, held her purse strings tight, leaving Marie to sulk. Fine, stupid big sister, a baka on that chan. Without listening to my mother's admonishments, she ran off. Sulking after being called stupid, I naturally didn't chase her right away. My mother, being optimistic about the aquarium's small size, also waited a while to go looking for Marie. And now, all I'm left with are my regrets. If only I had gone after her sooner. If only I'd traded her keychains in the first place. Even so, the past is unchanging, and I am left with only my regrets to bear. So in case I could ever trade with Marie again, I've stubbornly carried around that keychain, the one with a pink droplet shape and the jellyfish charm, like a treasure. I rummaged through my bag, seeking to feel the keychain in my hand. Huh? Why? At a time like this, I had forgotten to bring it. The keychain wasn't in the bag, nor in my pockets. Huh? So I naturally slipped out of my body. After all, I've lost sight of Marie and strayed from Himeno. Himeno has the building map, so there's nothing I can do. At that moment, a pungent aroma floats by and caused me to speak in surprise. Unable to bear the irritating stench, I pinched my nose. Still, the stench seems to twist in my nose. It's made of the smell of sewage, sulfur, and the nauseating stink of vinegar. Squish. A dead body. Marie. As soon as I try to get away from the smell, something soft creeps along the bottom of my foot. As I hesitantly look down, I realize the true identity of the putrid odor. The light is reflecting my screen. What is it? Oh, it's a corpse. I'm not sure what type, but it's as big as my arm span. A baby. The body is slowly decaying and hasn't retained its original form. Yet by its bulging, round eyes and slightly extended tail fin, I can just barely tell it was a fish. I couldn't tell right away, but it has a silhouette similar to a piraruku. I feel like I've seen those eerie glaring eyes, characteristic of a freshwater fish. I feel Sick. I move my foot slowly and a small fragment of the corpse sticks to the bottom of my shoe, on the underside of which I notice something wriggling desperately. Oh no, our new shoes. The slight sound of flapping wings departs from beside my ear, and I understand that the wriggling thing is an insect. Ah! Shaking, shivers run up my spine as if someone had pressed ice to it. I take a step back and drop my cell phone. The phone reacts with the backlight and LCD screen coming on, illuminating the dead body. Yeah, just two fish. The syrupy dead body absorbs the light and the winged insect that flees to avoid it. There's also a meandering white nematode that seems not to notice. The backlight soon disappears, leaving its stench amidst the darkness. The shadows of those hideous insects are scorched into my retinas, and they sway like the light of a heat haze in the darkness. Someone was creeping up from the pit of my stomach. I'll endure it. I immediately shut my mouth, enduring what had come up. The intermingled acidic taste of the vomit that had come up, and the scent of stomach acid lingering in my nostrils, mixed with saliva and caused my eyes to water in pain. Why was it so painful? I can't figure out the answer to my doubts, not at all. I cover my eyes with both hands. I thought you were like covering your mouth. I couldn't have made it if I didn't. To be honest, I don't find a dead fish corpse so disgusting that you have to cover your eyes. The smell is more disgusting in my opinion. But shutting out my vision leaves my sense of smell, causing the smell of rotten water and the stench of the dead body to become more intense, so I uncover my eyes. See? No. What is this? This is a place for the customers. Is it really alright for this to be here? On top of that, I was in the middle of chasing Marie, wasn't I? No, that isn't the problem. It's strange enough that there's a place like this in the middle of an aquarium. Anyway, I have to get out of here. Stench is so overpowering, it's as if I can see it. I want to get out of here quickly, satisfying myself with the argument that it's a garbage dump or something, and that if I only get away, I'll be fine. At any rate, I can go back the way I came. No, that's no good. I might run into Jimeno. At this moment, I don't want to see her face, because I called her a dummy. My eyes having adjusted a bit to the darkness, I search for a way out. Here, the tanks are broken. The little remaining water is stinking, and the bodies of living things have tumbled out here and there. I think about how happy I am that I can't see. Even so, to find the exit, I have to look around. My nose has begun to go numb, and thanks to that, I'm somehow able to retain my sanity. Before long, I find a dim emergency light behind one of the tanks, and head towards it as if it were the last hope I could cling to. I feel squishing several times beneath my feet, but I try to ignore it and move on. As I move towards the emergency light, it seems the smell is becoming faint. Huh? I get used to the scattered shards of glass and the rotten fish corpses just before I reach the door. The tip of my shoe feels as if it has kicked something hard, something different from before. Wondering what I had kicked, I casually look down. No. No. Darkness. I get the sensation that all the blood has stopped flowing through me, and that my heart has stopped completely. The round thing I kicked has patches of hair, 2 eyes, a nose with a bone to it, and a mouth. Altogether it is a football. A human face. Technically it's a human head, but not a face. Some music. Speaking accurately, it's a head rather than a face. Bada bing! It's completely lifeless and walks away with a flopping sound when my foot touches it. Seeing the state the head is in, I begin to feel ill again, despite having finally calmed down from before. I hate these things. These veins from the eyes. I think it's supposed to be the veins in your eyes. With the white cranium, only the forehead area seems to be exposed. It seems this is new and has only just begun to decay. No, for starters. There's no way a human head should be rolling around here. It's my imagination, or it has to be from some model. Okay, I haven't yet looked in the direction it was rolling, convincing myself that it isn't a human head. It really is different, so there was no satisfying myself. I placed my hands on the door in an attempt to escape. Unable to control my shaking hands, it takes 3 tries before I can open the door. It's a heavy fire door that is usually open. Squeaky door. Oh no. Okay, this is... I step inside with my thoughts racing and the atmosphere changes completely once more. I can hear the sound of the door closing behind me. Inside is a very clean place. The transparent water is tinted a faint blue and inside float fantasy-like jellyfish. Countless pillar-shaped tanks are spread around and the water shimmers as it reflects the light of the fluorescent lamp, red and yellow, green and purple, the jellyfish's body diffusing light like a prism. In spite of the strange space I have reached, I'm fascinated by the shimmering life art display. Himeno, I mutter without thinking. Then I quickly shake my head, erasing the image of Himeno's face that appears in my mind. Earlier, she didn't come after me. After all, Himeno chose on her own to part ways from me. I'm sure it's because she dislikes me now. It isn't something I should worry about. Himeno is so dead. Even at a quick glance, I can see that there are various types of jellyfish in the tank. Having made efficient use of the small space, it's a charming area. It vividly expresses the starry sky, as is fitting of the name Mountain Aquarium. Compared to the earlier Fish of the World booth, this one isn't the least bit in decay. I wonder if Marie came this way. Do a quick save, because it's like a dead end. I learned that if the color is red behind the choice you can make, it means there's a dead end. Let's go. Going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here. I don't know what should be dangerous. Who came there? There was nothing except the... Well, there was a dead body, so... I feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I go back. Let's go to Himeno. I feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I go back. Upon thinking whether or not it's alright for just me to enjoy something so pretty, I reach for the door behind me. Even though we fought, Himeno and I are friends. Sharing such a lovely memory will surely help us make up quickly. I step forward, and it is at that moment. When I open the door and step through, there's no Fish of the World booth. Before I can even rationalize the scene before me, I'm pulled in by some sort of swell. We're in water. Trying to figure out what's wrong, I realize I'm having trouble getting air. I really want air, so I pause for breath. My mouth fills with a fishy stench, brine, seawater. I know from the salty taste that I've swallowed seawater. The reason I can't breathe is because all around me is ocean water. I understand that I am in the ocean, devoid of light, no light and no sound in the darkness. Wondering why, I move my limbs. At this rate I will drown. It hasn't been more than a minute since I got pulled under the sea. How many seconds have passed at this point? No, that isn't it. I have to get above water. However, up to this point there has been no light overhead, and I'm forced into an inevitable battle with my despair. I frantically endure my suffocation, swimming higher and higher. Suddenly being thrown into the water hasn't thrown off my sense of up or down, as the desire to live serves as an instinct to guide me upward. I still can't see, but I'm alright. Just like that, I seem to have answered my own question. I can feel the clothes I'm wearing become heavy. However, if I have time to shed my clothes, then I have time to continue upward. My thinking is that alone. I've heard there's high pressure in the deep part of the ocean that crushes any living thing, but my body is completely fine. That means where I am at the moment shouldn't be that deep. If I swim hard enough, I should make it. I just have to hit the surface and take a deep breath. How many seconds have passed at this point? I have no sense of time whatsoever in this darkness. Even so, the music sounds like it's a dead end, so even so I know that some time has passed since I was thrown to the ocean. A minute probably passed a while ago. Here, my consciousness has begun to fade. Immediately after I see the darkness of death, a small light illuminates the tip of my nose. Because I have been swimming so frantically, I haven't noticed, but it seems as though I have gone up quite a ways. It will all be alright. The surface is close. I reach out my hand. I reach out towards that light. That is all that I can do. It's because my legs won't move. No matter how frantically I try to move them, my legs won't even quiver. It feels as if something has ensnared them. It has the elasticity of a bottomless trampoline. From the tips of my toes to my rear end, that soft sensation wraps tightly around me. I want to think this is a lie. No, I have actually decided I will not believe it. That a giant octopus has wrapped itself around my legs. Oh, I saw enough Japanese anime stuff where this happens. Its gum-like suckers are the size of the palm of my hand. I can't even imagine how large its entire body is. There we go. The light is getting farther away. My eyes have already closed. For some reason, Himena's smiling face floats before me, though it should be her angry face that I see last. Tentacles are coming inside my mouth. Just like that, I'm in darkness. As much as it has tightened up, my legs have lost all feeling. No wonder. My legs are no longer what they once were. With the depletion of my oxygen supply, my brain has already changed into a machine for merely processing my situation. Within the darkness, it dispassionately communicates my non-existent will to my four limbs, which have lost all sensation. It won't be long before the only thing I can sense is darkness. It's because I have already become part of that darkness. Into the silent abyss. That is, Oh, we're sleeping with this jellyfish. Oh, it's a jellyfish. A bad ant. I can see that. I just have to first continue? Yes. So let's make a cut here. I'm going to save. Bang. And I hope you enjoyed it so far, and to see you in the next part of Sound of Drop, Fall into Poison. See you then.